most of the time you really had to create, you had to visualize, have your own vision, because you didn't see these people, you just had these beautiful voices. And you start to make these beautiful voices and be like, oh, she must be looking like this, or he must be looking like that, you know? Yeah. And then the movies that we could see, like 10 Commandments and lots of Cliff Richard in the movies, and Elvis Presley's Connie Francis those days, and a little bit of Little Richard, in, you know. Yeah.
So when was your first like professional performance?
I don't
How did
remember.
that happen?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Was it as a dancer? Did you start as a dancer?
No, no. It was crazy because musicians then, they used to play and don't want to do nothing. Like dancing and other stuff is just for women. You couldn't even go near the instrument. They used to be so angry. Like if a pianist, and then you go briefly, they get very upset. Like, don't touch it again. You know? So, or somebody's drum, they say, never ever come next to my drums, and you're like, ooh. You know? So you used to sit there and listen to them play, you know. Then they used to see that, oh, this one is so interested. Maybe they call you, they ask, do you know this song? So you always have to be prepared to learn the songs, you know. So when they say, come and sing in the band, you say, oh, God, and you just go sing. When they tell you, okay, we're playing such place, you just go prepare yourself like, oh, am I going to make it? Am I going to be good enough? It wasn't as easy as it is now, where people can just pick them up, and even if they are not artists, they make them artists. There you had to prove yourself that there is something really pushing you or burning you.
Did you get then taken on by a band at some point, like as a regular singer?
Yeah, I had first I had 4 guys from home, from Ohlange, which were going to school, and we made a group. I was singing, and then the 4 guys would sing the harmonies, like backing me up. There was no band then.
So you formed the actual group?
Yes.
You decided you want your own band?
Oh God, yes. Yes. I
Otherwise
was always forming something. Always, always. So, and then my brother, who was more advanced, was singing with different groups. It took me to join his group again. And then we went to Joburg for this competition. And from there on, I was still at school. I couldn't really like stay at school. And then I was in African jazz, Alfred Habbert's African jazz. And then I was in Dingaka, same lady who made Ipindombi, made a movie Dingaka. Then I took a part in that. And
was that a singing part there?
Yeah, I used just to sing. And then those who dances would dance. But again, it was still because of these little laws that we have, even in art, where they don't really exist. Like a singer is a singer, a dancer is a dancer. Again, it was not like now where you can be everything, like freedom, total freedom, even on stage. You know, you had such image that you don't want people to see you probably picking up your leg or dancing, because then what are they going to say? You're not a lady. Especially in show business, women, where people used to judge you so much. Like, how is she? Is she there because she's what? She's trash, or she's hanging around with guys and things like that. So you always try to protect your image. And then, but I was lucky, I got married within the business while I was very young. So that way, it didn't become so bad for me, because also my husband was a musician. But again, I had another way of releasing myself from the whole tension, whatever, running as fast as I can.
Where did you run to?
My mom, if my mom said no and I really wanted to go, because I was always running to the music. You know, like, this is it. This is what God brought me here for. This is my task. This is... Then it was like, if I ran and I went there, even if I dodged my mom, knowing that I'm going to be punished, but as soon as I'm within this music, like, oh, then it's okay. they shouldn't worry or they shouldn't punish me. Why should they? Because I'm here now. But then I was always like punished. The same way with my marriage. You know, it became a part where I had to choose: is this going to be it, or is it going to be music? You cannot separate me from that. It's just impossible. I cannot separate myself from it. I try very hard, but it's just impossible. And sometimes I know I hurt a lot of people by them not understanding that there's no separation between me and whatever this is. This is just life for me.
So your marriage broke up after a long time?
It didn't really break up because I left and then my husband died.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So then you went out of the country to Portugal?
Portugal, of course. I first went to Lorenzo Marx Beira, which is Maputo now, Angola. And then I went to Portugal. It was also just music, singing.
What took you there
when I was in Portugal, he died when I was there. It was music. There was a group which was in the army from Portugal, a very good group. And then they had this impresario. And they came in while I was still in African jazz with the South African troupe. And they saw the way we were living very bad, playing very hard every night. And then this guy was trying to sell the whole show to this man from Portugal. And he refused and he took me out. I couldn't say no. Yeah, it was like for me, hey, freedom from everybody, from my mom, from from everyone, you know. Unfortunately, I had a daughter then, you know. And then I had to, like, to sacrifice.
What, you left her behind?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So what, did you become part of this good group?
Yes, and they let me sing my music, which was like South African music, and they back me. And then in other songs we sing together, and then they teach me Portuguese song.
What was the name of that band?
Conjunto João Paulo.
So
Conjunto João Paulo, and I work with Duo Or Negro from Portugal.
And what did you learn from that music? Or are there influences from that music now in your music today?
You know, when I went, because there were people from Angola, and I found that they were really like singing their languages. As much as they knew Portuguese, they sing Portuguese. And I used to see the reaction from the people that are supposed not to be understanding the language. You know, especially when they sing these songs from Angola. And then I started to, as somebody who came from South Africa, like where we had also to sing jazz to be understood or to get jobs.
What, sing in English?
Yeah, exactly. I found it really strange. That how come now here overseas they don't ask any question if these people play good or they sing good. Everybody becomes happy, you know. And then I started really like realizing that music truly has no border, has no language. Because I've had people singing. In fact, I won't mention one great singer who really surprised me. You know, we were making this song at the studio then, and I was asking, what does this mean in your language in Zaire? Or then he told me, he says, you know, Busi, some of these lyrics don't mean anything. I make them up. I was really surprised because it sounds just like he means something, even when he smiles, they're like, and for me it was like, yeah, he means something. I had already like told myself this is a love song, you know.